We went over to, from Korea, we went over to Vietnam War. Frank Kirk was a Vietnam veteran, and you'll see him along with, this is Tom Goebel getting an etching. And one of the favorite things of folks to do as they go through this, and they encourage you to do it, if you have a friend, family member, acquaintance, or relationship whose name is on the wall, there's paper all over, and you can take and trace it by doing a pencil rubbing along that and take it home for posterity. And they do, you see people doing this all the time, and it's something very unique to the Vietnam War Memorial. And we always try to make sure if any of our veterans have any folks or any names that they want to preserve, that we do that. It's the interesting thing about Vietnam Memorial. I mean, the first time I visited, it was just the memorial itself, just the V-shaped memorial, and I wasn't real sure, being a Vietnam vet, how that was going to impact me or what I thought about it. And when you step back and see it from the first time, it's kind of unique. At the same time, that first time I was there, I'll never forget this, because a whole group of young kids, they were just ankle biters, and came there, and they were over in the assembly area where you can identify. There's books laid out where you can identify names and what section of the wall they're on and things of that nature. And they're kids, and they're they're laughing and having everything. As soon as we headed down that walk, they became deathly quiet. And every time I've been there, it's the same result from every group that you see. Because as you start to walk down that wall, you start to realize the impact of what you're about to see. And it's very emotional. Frank, I don't know if you were able to find any names on the wall that you remember. And that's when you have a chance to do that and see those, it really gives you moments to pause. When the Vietnam Memorial was originally built, it was just the wall. And a lot of the vets kept saying, it's nice, but it's missing something. It just seems like it's a wall there and that's it. The Vietnam War Memorial Commission then went back and said, what else do we need? And they said, you have to be able, like the Korean War Memorial, you have to be able to show people who was there, what it was like. We need something to give it something. They came up with this statue, and for those of us who are there, Pat, you probably remember, and Frank too, this is what you saw when you walked around, landed at a base in Vietnam. It was the GIs coming back in from the field, from patrol and things of that nature. Normally you'd think they'd be marching in single file and everything. No, they're all straggling back in, they're tired, they're beat, they've seen something that wasn't something that they ever forget, those kinds of experiences. But they don't have the shoulders like you see in the parades where they're marching with them, something like. They got them slung over their shoulder, their hats are cocked, or they don't even have half their battle gear, they're loose. This is what you saw as you walked around. And I said, perfect. But I was wrong. It wasn't perfect, because it did miss one element of another group of folks that were over there. And subsequent to that, they brought in and made this statue dedicated to the nurses and the non-combatant female soldiers and seamen and airmen that were in country and in theater supporting the troops at the main support bases. The three statues together make it complete. And so make sure if you go to DC and you get a chance to go to the Vietnam War Memorial, don't just look at the wall, because these two statues really show you, like the Korean War Memorial, what folks were going through and what it was like for the folks that were there at the time. It's an excellent set of memorial aspects.